See you later.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loud Spot. I'm your host, Sebastian Cosme, right out of Oklahoma City. We got two co-hosts today joining us. We got Ava Gore joining us, and we got Evan Chavez is here for his second live band interview, and we got Elias from the band Nonpoint. What's up, dude?
How's all?
How
you doing?
Dude, your band is still making music. It's been like, what, 25 years?
No, since 97 we originally formed, and then got signed in late 99, early 2000.
What was it like being signed to a record label back then? And I know you guys have your own record label now, right? So what was it like being signed to a record label back then compared to what you think it's like bands getting signed nowadays?
A lot of the infrastructure of the whole music industry has changed quite a bit. You know, you have multiple delivery mediums that I've actually seen happen. Our first record, that Statement record, was on tape and CD, and then watched vinyl come back, and then watched the whole downloading an MP3 streaming format start to take place. So seeing all the delivery happen, you try to stay as nimble as possible, and the major label model used to work really well. It's a big machine that has a lot of dollars and allows you to get into basically in rooms that you normally couldn't get into by yourself. Nowadays, especially with a brand like mine, we're able to get into a lot of those rooms on our own now. So having the fan base that we have, and with the teams that we've built now, independence is a very strong model these days that allow fans like myself to utilize their fan base to fund things, and then at the same time to stay nimble, and allow ourselves to be able to take a little bit more of a financial risk where the major label model wouldn't.
What was it scary to when you first decided to put the record label together? And Nonpoint's a huge band, obviously tons of fans everywhere. Was it still, even with your fan base, was it still scary to kind of go off on your own and release, like Ruthless is your new song out? I hear it all the time on Octane. Fucking love it, dude. Was it scary though to release it just under your own record label?
It is, because not scary. At the end of the day, we're a business, so
right.
And having done as many deals as we've had, and having as many accountants as I've had, and managers as I've had, and agents, you do a lot of negotiating. You do a lot of contract signing. So you try to get as well steeped on the industry knowledge as you possibly can. So we did that first. We made sure that we had our team, and that we did the numbers and said, okay, here's what we kind of did last time. Here's what we project to do this time. Is it a good idea to spend this much money here? Is it a good idea to spend this much money here? So taking a lot of the same decisions and choices that labels were met with, now we were met with.
Right.
But at the same time too, where we don't have to worry about being met with, hey, we would like to do this now. Can we do it? We just look at the numbers and go, all right, if we want to spend the money, we spend the money. We just do it.
Yeah, so, I do want to mention how Alex says, first and foremost, Elias, you're truly one of the best performing vocalists ever. I strive to give energy and you bring every time. Thank you for being so humble. And that's a great compliment from him. And you do have a very unique, like whenever it's Nonpoint, I don't even have to look to see who's singing the song. I know it's Nonpoint. Like you have a unique voice that you've had since Evan actually introduced me to you guys.
I did then. Back in high school. Yeah, there's just something about like the cadence too, and the way you deliver your lines. Like Bullet with the name on it. When you go like, oh, I'm working harder than 100 black mules down in Mexico, and you just start bouncing with it. Like it's like when that cadence kicks in, even if it wasn't your voice, you could easily identify that's a Non-Point song, and it's iconic.
I think wordplay is one of the things that I love to do the most. I like to, that's why I get to flex, honestly. And I know a lot of people, even to my detriment sometimes, I get very wordy and I get very, very crazy with some of the rhythms that I do, especially in the upcoming stuff. I'm getting pretty wild. I have a couple different styles that I'm really trying to aim at, through a little bit of research, getting back into hip hop again and really diving into some of the new, as well as some of the old, and getting into the history of it, the actual inner workings of what a lot of those styles are, and seeing the mind behind them, and being able to apply those kind of styles. I really wasn't a huge Tupac fan growing up. I was way on the Biggie side. I grew up on the East Coast, that kind of party vibe. I grew up in South Florida, so that that bad boy sound was cool down south. So I really didn't pay a lot of mind, to Tupac, but digging back in, I'm starting to see what it was all about, having that kind of preacher style, standing at the podium, having something really like epic to say and meaningful to say, and that's something that I really like to do. So a lot of the stuff that I've been writing with, and this is coming off the tails of songs like Buscándome and even Last Dying Breath, where I'm getting a chance to have that kind of standing on the podium.
Ava has a question, and then we're going to go to Alex and ask his question. Go ahead, Ava.
It wasn't really a question. I wanted to go back to the label stuff and just say that it's awesome to hear that you take the risk, because we just got our first record deal, and they're really not committing to much in the contract. They're not offering much money. It's there's nothing in it that says anything about marketing. It's just it's hard.
It's a different world.
When it's funny that you say that. A lot, you have that same gut feeling for 20 years doing it, and asking those same questions like, hey, why isn't this? Why isn't this? And getting the same kind of, we'll work on it. We'll give it, maybe, the numbers aren't adding up right. We would be spending outside. We really want to work on the next. What about your next thing? Are you writing new music? Like that kind of stuff, where it's kind of just where you really don't feel like you're giving the body of work the attention that you gave it for that, 6 months, 7 months that it took you to write it.
Right.
There were records that it took me over a year to write, and 2 songs saw the light of day. But here I am with Ruthless, and I'm, only 1 song is out, and it's gotten so much love, and it's because we're giving it all its attention.
Yeah.
And people know what our next plan is this same thing. We're going to do the same thing with Ruthless, with our next song, Dubs, and with our next song, and our next song. People are going to see video representation. People are going to see artwork. People are going to see merchandise that attaches to those songs that for the last 20 years I had fans going, yo, I loved your single, but this was my song.
Right.
I wish I would have seen a video for it. I wish I would have seen something like this for it. I wish I would see a T-shirt like that. Like that kind of stuff, we're taking the risk and spending the money to make sure that in one way or another, the entire body of work is.
Yeah. Alex wants to know who's your current vocalist that blows your mind, no matter what genre.
Okay. I'll give you my top 3 when it comes to, first of all, hip hop.
Okay.
You don't know who Fonte is? Write that down. Phonte.
I'm gonna write that down.
I'll write it down.
Okay.
He's from the Little Brother crew from back in the day in the South. You'll hear a lot of Drake, a lot of some of this man is probably one of the best that I've ever heard in the game that doesn't get the credit that he deserves.
Awesome, man.
Number
Oh,
one.
yeah. Okay.
Number two, it would have to be a very, very close to that, and that's Anthony Green from Circus Survival. I think he's probably got one of the most unique voices, and his choice of note and melody is very a lot of the black keys. I love it.
Okay.
It's very minor, and it's beautiful. And then last up and comer, I'd have to say Brandon from Crowbar, the singer in Crowbar. He is just, God bless that man. He's got one of the most amazing and one of the strongest voices that I've ever heard in rock. I hope those guys go forever. And, all of them are amazing. Bishop, shout out to those guys. I probably sound like a broken record in the way I talk.
Hey.
Talk about Circa, but those two guys have amazing voices.
Is this the first time that you guys? Oh, and Chugs from Pigweed says hells yeah. So he's a cool dude. Your other albums that you came out with, they were mostly albums, right? But Ruthless is just a single. Is that accurate?
Ruthless is this current single right now, yes, and it's the only one out from the EP right now.
Okay. And do you guys plan on dropping any more before the end of 2021? Or do you not know yet? Oh, yeah, you are. Okay.
Everyone knows that everyone's been waiting for a year for our cover for When Doves Cry to hit. They've been asking since the cover campaign we did last year. So it took a lot of different versions, but we got it there, and it's pretty outstanding. So that's the next one.
Right on. Evan, did you want to say something? Because we actually have your song Ruthless, and we're going to play the music video on the show. It's such a great song, and we play music videos on the show because, that's what we do. So, Evan, did you have a question before we play the video?
Yeah, so I was going to say, when you were talking about, applying all your attention to one song and, you have fans come up and say, I loved your album, but this was my jam on it. For me personally, it was Wait off of... was it Recoil? And
yes,
it just hit at the time where I was trying to make a decision on where I was going to go in my life, choosing was I going to stay with music or am I going to go home and try and start a life, find someone to start it with. And I wonder what it would have meant more, if it would have meant more if there was a video attached to it, if there was some sort of merchandise attached to it. Do you have any songs of your own, one that this should have been a single, this should have got more attention?
There's a bunch, definitely. I feel like In the Air Tonight should have been a single. I think the label should have got behind that one, and it didn't get any recognition until almost 3 years later when they started using it in the Miami Vice movie.
Were they afraid to?
I have no idea. I really don't.
Yeah, that was a great song. I loved it.
Yeah,
it was a good song. Yeah.
When we did the tour with Wicked Wisdom, and sat down with Jada and Will, we were all actually in a room just talking, and Jada brought up, yeah, this is the band that did In the Air Tonight, and they all looked at us and they're like, oh man, hey, who's your managers during that one? Because they really shit the bed with that fucking song. Right? Same thing with the label, all of it. Yeah, it's like that kind of thing where it's like, if the first one probably wasn't good enough for them that they felt like they could do a second show. And we weren't the type of band that probably, now that I think about it, wanted to lead with a cover. Because the cover to begin with was just a suggestion from the label because we still had time in the studio and banged it. They didn't expect us to be done with the record so quickly because we went into the recording process so prepared, and they weren't used to bands going in prepared. So we knocked out the record in a month, and they were like, well, you still got time if you guys want to keep writing some stuff. And so we
already paid.
Yeah. So, now this time with the popularity of that one, we wanted to lean on the fans. So we put up a bunch of songs and let them duke it out.
Nice.
That's awesome, man. Let's check out Ruthless. Then I want to talk a little bit about the song. Then we got some more questions for you. So let's check out your new music video right now, Ruthless, and this song is out everywhere right now. It's on Octane. It's everywhere. Check it out.
I'm about to explode. Speeding down a warpath. Self-defense, call that battle by proxy. Goldilocks distance, how can I miss? With a crack shot aim and verbal game like this. For the masses all to behold. And get another fighter on the phone. All the ones they sent so far, they couldn't stop me. All the ones they sent so far, didn't get so far. You wanna start it off without a way to win. I've been doubling nothing, but I'm not gambling. You're trying to catch me up, but I got out again. You better cover your eyes, it's about to get. It's about to get. Something get. Everybody get. Time to let the mud fly, target identified, it's time to get. Stimming and certified, it's time to get. Cover your eyes, yeah, it's time to get. I'm about to go raw. Swimming in a shark tank. Listen, every turn is still breaking in my wheelhouse. Bait 'em all, hook 'em all, sink 'em and run through 'em like it's the Olympics of life. And the road to gold is brick by brick. And only the bold, even broken and sick, are showing up to cause another episode. We're in the presence of a monster. Baseball. You wanna start it out without a way to win. I've been doubling nothing, but I'm not gambling. You're trying to kick me out, but I got out again. You better cover your eyes, it's about to get. It's about to get. It's time to get. Everybody get. It's time to let the mud fly. Target identified, it's time to get. Statement is certified, it's time to get. Cover your eyes, yeah, it's time to get. Calling what you wanna call it, I'm calling it criminal, totality, coming into a physical, acting all righteous, but you're too lawless. Shadows are moving and they always get too crawling. Calling what you call it, I'm calling it criminal. It's about to get lawless. It's about to get physical, and it's about to get. It's about to get. It's time to get. Everybody get. It's time to let the mud fly. Target identified. It's time to get. Statement is certified. It's time to get. Cover your eyes, yeah. It's time to get.
That was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
All right, I have to mute everybody. Okay, I just got a question, man, because you are so quiet and reserved. Like just talking to you on the show, kind of like a quiet dude. Then you get on a microphone, it's just like all of a sudden like a completely different person than who I'm talking to right now on the show, man. Now, are you normally pretty quiet, generally speaking? You get on stage and you just kind of tear shit up.
It Definitely not in my group. I'm not quiet. I'm not
Okay,
quiet.
okay.
In the camp where everybody, I'm the mouth. I'm most certainly the mouth.
Anyone that knows that's gonna watch is gonna be like, dude, no, you got him all wrong, man. He's being nice for you. No, he's just being nice to you.
Yeah.
Get to know him. Nice, fucking loud. That's awesome.
I feel like I can
man.
relate to that.
I take the art side of it as serious as possible. I really like the whole industry, you know, from creative to administrative. It's what wakes me up in the morning and gets me up. So, yeah, I'm a little quieter in interviews, most certainly. But backstage and stuff, I try, you know, I gotta save it because I'm screaming all night.
Right.
Would you say your stage persona is like a different person, or is just like a part of you?
I'd say it's probably definitely a part of me. It's me on it's me on 10. You know, at the end of the day, the mission of what I'm saying and the effect that I know that I have on people because of what I'm saying. You know, I tell people that I try to be a tarot card reader that drops nothing but inspirational cards. So whether it be for you getting out of a situation, for you going through a situation, for you getting ready to start a situation.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a good coach. I like to be a good life coach.
That's awesome. You know, does every song that you write mean something? Like, does every song, or do you ever just come up with like, I just need lyrics to this, let me just rhyme some shit, put it together in a song? Like, does every single song have a meaning? Because you got some deep lyrics, man.
Yeah. Well, every song does have a meaning. You know, the general goal is almost the Bob Marley method, where I'm trying to, you know, send my message, but I want to use the right words that everyone understands.
Right.
And even Coldplay is really good at this, where they can take the simplest words and say something very poetic. So that's what I try to do. I'm trying to use my you know, my platform to get my message across, but also to, you know, make it at least thoughty enough that people see.
Right. I respect.
Right. And
I respect that kind of writing a lot more than like, how many big words can I use? You know?
Yeah, that's like what I kind of do, right? But Mitch Taylor says, thank you for taking the time to greet fans at your concert. Met you in Perth, Australia on the Joint. Oh, where'd you go?
On the Joint Head PE tour.
No. Elias left.
He
I think
disappeared.
he was having internet issues, though.
Yeah.
He was having a little bit of internet issues at the end there. So I think that he wound up cutting out. Let's see, here he is back again. Okay, hold on. We got him back. Let's see here. Add to stream. It's internet connection.
Yeah, is it bad internet? I'm sorry.
It's a little bit. It's good enough. It's good enough. It's not bad. But someone did want to say thank you for taking the time to greet your fans after the concerts. And so that's something you normally do, is go after your show, you go out and meet the fans and say what's up and thank them for coming to the show.
Always. We like to say
perfect.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Normally, it's, you know, people get up close and sweaty for me, so the least I can do is go out and you know. But this was post-COVID routine.
Right. Now you're like 6 feet.
You know,
what's up?
That was a pre-COVID routine. You're post-COVID. Could be switching up some routines in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had a question about
6 feet away. Go ahead.
So you put out that album, Separate Yourself. Was that a choice that you made during COVID? Like, let's get something out for the fans? Or is that something that was already in the works? Because it was great to hear some of your older songs, how they were recorded originally. And like Victim, like it completely started out completely different. It didn't kick in with that hook of, you know, like, oh my God, what have I done? It just it had its own groove leading up to that. So I really appreciated that as a fan.
When I think just like everybody else, we were trying to figure out what we were doing.
Yeah.
And leaning on our catalog was a good idea. We had uncovered some things and found some things and started to get our own distribution line in place. So, just like with everyone else sitting at home trying to figure out the pandemic, we did a lot of testing, and that's part of it.
All right, we are having some internet issues, I think. Elias, if you turn your Wi-Fi off, does that make a difference?
Let me see.
On your phone? Might make it worse. It might make it worse. Could make it better, I don't know. That happened. This has happened before, in fact, with Evan on the show. So I think Evan is the corporate here.
Yep, I'm the hex.
You're the hex. Yeah, I think so. So, no, that might have made it a little bit worse. Oh, I can't hear you, Sam.
We can't hear what you're saying.
What, Sam?
Oh, he's saying I am. He's saying he is.
Yeah, Evan's a hex. Okay, all right. Well, Elias is having internet issues on the show. We did want to ask him. We'll see if we can get back on here, but if not, I want to give him kind of the last word and say what he wanted to say that we didn't cover. We didn't get to cover as much as we wanted to, but internet issues, and that does happen sometime. I'm sure he's going to watch this later, so I do want to thank you for coming on the show, talking about Nonpoint, sharing with us and your fans about what you've been up to and a little bit of the past. Evan, some great questions. Ayla, you too. Sam, do you have anything before we call it a day?
No, I don't think so. Again, don't forget, guys, we'll be over at Rockin' Pod the 5th through the 8th. Ava, Sebastian, and myself. Where the fuck did Evan go?
Everybody.
Ava left. Nobody else left is me.
Good job, Ava. Chased him away. Goddamn. But guys, come out there and see us. And of course, guys, buy some merchandise. Evan's back. Yeah. So here he goes. So
he's gone.
Yeah, I hit. Okay. Sebastian, let me hit the buttons. Let me hit the buttons.
You push the buttons.
Well, it's going to be very interesting. That's all together.
So, don't forget to see us. We'll be in Nashville the 5th through the 8th. Come out and see us. Buy Sebastian a beer.
Don't do that.
Don't get him too drunk because he's like a gremlin. I have to contain him at the end of the night. So. Or Ava, for that matter. But guys, we really appreciate you guys watching the show. Make sure to share, subscribe, go to our YouTube page. We have over 1,100 subscribers in our group chat, our group thing, and it would be the world to us if you guys all just literally subscribe, and we can actually start making money on this thing. So that would be great.
That's right.
Well, we can pay Evan for all the past work he does.
I do want to say, thanks for watching the show. Go to www.theloudspot.net. Elias, thank you very much. From Nonpoint, you guys are awesome. Hopefully we get you back on again with some better reception. And I guess that's all I got. You want to play the ending?
Yep. Okay. All right, we'll see you guys later. Thanks.
This is the Loud Spot outro by nothing short of tragic. Is this all talk with no action? No. Is this my thoughts with distraction? No. Is this what I bought that's in fashion? Or is this the Loud Spot with Sebastian? Yes. Does nothing short of tragic have its back again? Yes. Does everything that's good really have to end? Yes. Our pimp host has to pimp show, so to get more episodes, make an order, this is over.
Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to click the like and share button.
Don't forget to go to our YouTube and subscribe.
If you want to listen to our audio and pick up some cool merch, go to www.theloudspot.net. Peace out, rock on, much love.